From the headquarters of the Guild of Champions, this is the Becoming Thin podcast. And I'm your host, Chris Terrell. And welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? What new challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you go through and what lesson did you get from that failure? Come on now. Don't let a perfectly good failure go by without you getting your lesson. That's your reward for your troubles, after all. Now, if you're new here, I've lost 125 pounds myself after an entire adulthood of chronic yo-yo dieting. Up, down, up again. Before I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired and fat and made some permanent, meaningful, and actual changes to my real-life lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and to my systems of belief. Because it's all 6 of those things that created the results in my life, and if I wanted to get new results, I was going to have to go change those 6 things in a real way, and you are too. But you see, that's going to mean you're going to have to go, let me give you the punchline. Because right now, everything I'm doing in the guild is all centered around emotional eating. The punchline is, if you want to lose weight and keep it off for good, you're going to have to go solve the weight gaining problem. And more than likely, the reason why you gained weight is because you've been eating when you weren't hungry. And more than likely, the reasons why you were eating when you weren't hungry is because of emotional eating. Emotional eating. Now, not all emotional eating is bad and problematic. Sometimes people think it's like binge eating, and sure, that definitely falls on the spectrum. But there's other forms of emotional eating, like boredom eating. Boredom eating is, in fact, emotional eating. There's a reason you're doing it. Mindless eating, that's another form of emotional eating. It's not like a super gargantuan problem, but it can certainly contribute. And there's so many other things like that. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you're going to have to master the skill of eating when you're hungry. That doesn't mean you only eat when you're hungry. You're just going to have to, stop regularly eating when you're not. It's all that recreational eating. That's what gets you. But it doesn't stop there. It's also the recreational sitting. Many of us, the reason why we gained weight is because we lived that chair to chair to chair to chair to chair lifestyle. I woke up and relocated from one chair to the next chair to the next chair to the next chair. It's going to have to break that. It's going to have to change the pattern if I wanted to get new results in my life that would actually stick. Welcome. It's a new season of the podcast, I believe. I need to double check, actually, because it just dawned on me right as I hit record. Let's look, but I'm pretty sure we are in the next season. I arbitrarily break them into 25 episode seasons because why not? Yeah, last week was episode 25 of season 11. We are now in season 12, episode 1. And every 25 episodes, I learn things about myself. I learn things about the podcast. I changed some things up, and I'm going to do something this season that I've been scared shitless to do. I don't know why. I just have been, and I'm gonna try it a little bit more, but I'm gonna start getting philosophical. I'm a philosophical fella. I read philosophy for sport. I think deeply about a lot of things, and I really have come to see that it's a major part of how I've been able to lose weight and keep it off because I had to change my philosophy. I had to change how I see the world. I had to change how I see myself. I had to change how I see things. Jim Rohn, somebody that I really, I went on a big Jim Rohn kick for years, studying everything that I could get my hands on from the man. And he often talked about something that was really impactful to me, and that was that your philosophy is the set of the sail. Many times we're wishing for better wind. We're on our sailboat and like, oh, if only the wind were different. No, you don't want better wind. You need to learn how to set your sail. And then you can sail in any conditions and go any direction you want. You can sail into the wind or with the wind or against the wind if you know how to set your sail. And your philosophy is the setting of the sail. And I think for this season, we are going to really jump into the philosophies of becoming thin, the philosophies of becoming healthy, the philosophies of becoming happy, and the philosophies of becoming in shape. The core 4 goals that I teach about. We're going to really lean into the philosophies of those. And I don't know why. It's scared me to get into it. And I have all sorts of reasons. Most of them don't hold up to any sort of scrutiny. A lot of them are just irrational fears. But some of them are rational. But I'm just going to do it. I'm going to fall in love with taking uncomfortable action. That's one of those better philosophies that I've decided to adopt, falling in love with taking uncomfortable action. So it's time to do that this week. Now, before I do, I would love to invite you to leave a review on the podcast if you could do. There we go. I got another one of the oohs in there. Only if I've earned it. Only if I've earned it. If you're brand new to the podcast, give me a few listens, give me a chance to earn it. But if you found the podcast to be of value, I would love to invite you to leave a written review. If your podcast platform allows it. Otherwise, give me a 5-star review. It does help get it does help you get the podcast in front of more people. Also, if you have an episode that really stands out to you, I would appreciate it if you shared it on your social media and let people know about it. You can also find the podcast on YouTube. So if you're looking for a good, easy to share link, that can be a good place to do it. If you enjoy the podcast, I go live every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. You can come join me live where we will celebrate your wins and your victories, and lots of interaction directly with you. And you could also catch the replays because all of the lives are left up in the live center, replay center of YouTube. You could also come take my free weight loss course, which people have been loving. I've been having a ton of feedback from it. In fact, I'd like to read to you something that somebody sent to me. So this is something that somebody named Lisa sent to me. Hi, Chris. Can I just thank you? I've had the opportunity to go through the 2 free courses, the Becoming Thin 5-day course and the 14-day course, currently on day 10. There have been so many light bulb moments for me. That's great. That's exactly what we're looking for, helping you get those light bulb moments. Let me read you another one. This one comes from Dale. I think I finally figured out that line between satisfied and full. This exercise and using the printout to track my hunger fullness has really helped me understand my hunger and fullness cues. See, that's what we're looking for. People are learning the skills that are going to help them keep the weight off. If you would like to take the free weight loss course, head on over to becomingthin.com. That's becomingthin.com. Now, I've mentioned a moment ago about emotional eating, how it sits at the core of many people's weight gaining problem. And how do you solve this? How do you solve your weight gaining problem? By working on your emotional eating. Let's talk about one aspect of emotional eating, and that is eating to soothe anxiety and worry and dread about something that you can't do anything about, but you're feeling all the feelings. You're feeling all the feelings. That is a recipe for disaster for emotional eating, because one of the highest causes of emotional eating, the highest causes, that's a terrible way to say that. One of the most prevalent causes of emotional eating is a human being experiencing a high degree of uncertainty, feeling powerless, feeling helpless. You see, when we feel powerless and helpless and uncertain, we're going to seek to correct that as people. And the fun thing is, as humans, we all have a need for certainty. It's one of the core human needs. It does not matter your race, age, gender, where you were raised in the world. It's just an innate thing that seems to come with our wiring. We want certainty. Now, that varies from human to human. Some humans need more certainty than others, but we all need it. And within the same human, you need different degrees of certainty around different things. You'll find at certain areas of life, you can tolerate a more uncertainty than others. In those other areas, you need a high degree of certainty. Now, to keep it spicy, our bodies also are wired where we need a little bit of uncertainty as well, like just to keep it exciting. Like, it's funny being a human, right? We can need two things that seem to be diametrically opposed. And so what happens is a person in their life will find themselves in a situation where they're feeling powerless to something that is happening. And as a result, they'll seek to balance the scale by diving into emotional eating. But they don't say it that way. What happens is you just begin to get this urge to eat. And that's the crazy thing. When you have this urge to eat, this emotional hunger, it makes it feel like it's almost not even a choice. You feel like I gotta eat something illegal. I gotta break a rule. I gotta defy. I have to push back against something. And so what happens is this is triggered because something in a person's life is causing them to feel powerless, to feel helpless, to feel like I'm unable to do anything about it. And many of us, we just think like, no, I need to pretend that nothing bothers me and I'm totally fine. And so I'll just eat some food and barrel ahead because I'm good. But that creates a secondary problem, right? You know, the whole extra calories getting in thing. Or sometimes we numb it out. We watch TV. We get addicted to screens. The thing with is one of the keys to overcoming emotional eating is going to be learning to just handle emotions. Far too often, what humans are looking to do is, how do I feel this bad feeling and how do I make it go away? Like, that's what I want. I want it to just, this unpleasant feeling is here. And because of that, I'm wanting to emotionally eat. Of course, we don't know that. We're just wanting to eat. But when we backtrack, we're like, I now see the urge to eat is linked to this feeling. And I want it to go away now. And so we're like fighting it. We're resisting it. And that can be very challenging to deal with our feelings. Very, very challenging. And as much as I wished I could tell you, yeah, you'll just distract yourself out of all your feelings. Oh, I want to emotionally eat. How do I distract myself from the urge to emotionally eat? Well, the better answer is, how do you remove the urge to emotionally eat in the first place? What if you did that? Because if you distract yourself and get really good at distracting yourself every time you want to emotionally eat, you're not actually dealing with the reason why you wanted to emotionally eat in the first place. And if you never deal with the reason why you wanted to emotionally eat in the first place, it's going to keep coming back. And you're going to be fighting this battle in perpetuity. But if you can figure out why you're wanting to emotionally eat and turn and address and face that and deal with it, then the urge will go away. Now, sometimes the answer is you make the situation vanish. Like, maybe you're in a toxic relationship. Well, you get out of that relationship. Oh, it went away. Sometimes you're like in a bad job. It's not a good fit for you. You leave that job and you get into a better fitting job and life's great and it goes away. But it's not always possible to do that. It's not always possible to do that. Sometimes you need to do the other option, the one option that many people don't want to do. You got to sit in a feeling. You got to sit in it. And learning to sit in the feeling is challenging because for many people, we have become so closely identified with our feelings that when we are feeling mad, we believe we are mad. And for many people, when we feel a feeling, if we feel it sufficiently strong enough, we begin to believe that means the feeling is telling us the truth. The feeling is a truth sayer, but that's not how feelings work. You could be feeling an intensely strong feeling, and it's not real. Let's kind of look at feelings for a second. What are feelings based off of? Feelings come from the thoughts in the mind. Okay? Feelings come from the thoughts in the mind. And so sometimes we're like, well, yeah, Chris, right. But no, feelings don't come from the thoughts in the mind. They come from what's happening. Right. But the only reason you know something is happening is because you perceived it via one of your five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. You perceived it. And your perceptions can be skewed and altered. And your perceptions are also altered by your beliefs, by your filters of life. Because you see, your eyes are not just viewers looking into the world. Your eyes are also projectors, and you're projecting a story onto the scene playing out in front of your mind. Bonus points in the comments section if you could tell me what commencement speech that's from, if you happen to know. Bonus points. You'll get 500 bonus points to your house. I don't because the points don't matter. But your eyes are not just viewers, like windows allowing your consciousness to look at and observe the world. They do that. But your eyes also serve as a sort of a projector, and you're projecting something onto what's happening. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? When there's gaps in understanding, your brain fills in those gaps, and you are reacting to your perception, and you're reacting to an inaccurate perception many times. Now, for some people, what I'm describing, you've never heard this before. This is brand new to you. For some people, are like, oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, I learned that a while ago. And some of you listening, you're like, okay, I'm just starting to understand this, right? Because it's a spectrum of understanding as we begin to figure this out, as we begin to learn and understand how our mind works. And so your emotions are actually being created based off of your perceptions. And your perceptions have stories wrapped around them. It's been said that stories are the operating system of the mind, that's how the mind works. So your emotions might actually be created based off of something that is not real. It might be rooted a little bit in reality. Reality may be a part of it, but it might have been drastically altered by your mind, and you don't even know it. Cognitive distortions are a real thing. They're a real thing. And the problem is our mind also distorts and deletes memories. It alters them. And then we're making decisions based off of our distorted memories with deleted components. And because they're deleted, we don't even know they're missing. It's not like there's a placeholder that says there used to be information here. It's just not there. You just don't know it anymore. Now, sometimes you can spot the gaps if you're getting still and looking into your own mind and getting better at looking at your thoughts. But you see, your emotions are real in that you are actually experiencing that emotion. It is real. But the story that created the emotion might not be real. It might be a fabrication of your mind with bits and pieces of it being rooted in reality. And it takes tremendous growth for many humans to reach a place where you begin to see the world for as it is. Many people are far more interested in being right than being aligned with truth, with being tied to reality. Because you see, for many of us, when we have a belief, we don't want to let that belief go. Oh, this is the right way to do things. This is the wrong way to do things. I've had many a person sit in front of me and tell me, yeah, Chris, I get it. Carbs are fine. I understand they're not the villain. And then they're not eating carbs because they're scared of them, because emotionally they do believe it. They can't let go of their belief. Orson Scott Card said, we question all our beliefs except for the ones that we truly believe, and those we'll never think to question. What do I say at the beginning of every podcast episode? You are a byproduct of your belief systems. And the thing is, I've kind of modified that quote a little bit, which is, we question all our beliefs except for the ones we truly believe, and those we call facts. And we don't question facts. We just assume they're true. But what if there are facts in your mind that are actually beliefs that are actually rooted in something false, and you're having emotional experiences based off of it, and you're emotionally eating based off of an incorrect story that is wrapped around a true and valid emotion? And this is where it can be very dangerous when you begin to assume that your feelings are an indicator that something is true. No, your feelings are an indicator that something is happening. Your feelings are an indication that something has occurred within your mind, some thoughts, some questions, something. And that doesn't mean your feelings aren't rooted in reality. You might be accurately perceiving something for as it is. What I'm suggesting is that you should not just blindly trust your feelings. We're not talking about intuition here, okay? We're not talking about intuition. We're talking about your emotions. So if you are feeling abandoned, that does not mean you are being abandoned. If you are feeling rejected, that does not mean you are being rejected. If you are feeling inferior, that does not mean you are actually inferior. Right? These emotions might be getting created due to distorted perceptions of reality because they filtered through your mind. They filtered through your mind. And the interesting thing is these emotions, they're created based off of thoughts. And thoughts aren't you. It was very freeing for me when I began to realize that I am not my thoughts. I have thoughts. I can see them. They're occurring. I can go into my mind and observe my thoughts. Like, I'm not thinking. The thought is arriving and I'm observing it. And it is triggering within this meat machine that I live in an emotional experience, which is altering my internal perceptions of those thoughts and in turn creating even more thoughts. What do you do with this? That's a topic for another podcast. But your thoughts and your feelings are things that happen in your mind. They're not you. And this is an important thing to begin to realize on your journey to moving beyond emotional eating, is learning how to separate yourself from your thoughts. And the best way to do this is to learn to embrace being in the present and observing your thoughts in the here and the now. In the here and the now. And you'll begin to notice, where are your thoughts focused? Are your thoughts focused on, and your perceptions focused on what is happening now? Or are your thoughts trying to cast themselves into the future? Worrying about what is coming, worrying about what is happening. I've got a book that I've been really, really enjoying reading. It's by Alan Watts. And I'm going to read this paragraph here. What is the use of planning to be able to eat next week unless I can really enjoy the meals when they come? If I'm so busy planning how to eat next week that I cannot fully enjoy what I'm eating now, I will be in the same predicament when next week's meals become now. That's a really important thing. Sometimes we get so focused in the here and the now in our thoughts, but we're casting our thoughts into some future, and we're doing this habitually. We're doing it all the time. And so we're not actually experiencing what's happening in the present. Let me read back here again. After all, the future is quite meaningless and unimportant unless, sooner or later, it is going to become the present. Thus, to plan for a future which is not going to become present is hardly more absurd than to plan for a future which, when it comes to me, will find me absent, looking fixedly over its shoulder instead of into its face. I realized in my life I was always so preoccupied with what was to come that I was missing what was happening. But because that became so habitualized, every time the thing I was looking forward to in the future, when it came here, I was looking forward to the next thing, not fully being present in what I was doing. I was actually not very good at being in the here and the now, at living in the day I'm in, at living in this moment. Somehow, for some reason, somebody conditioned into me that I should always be looking forward to something. I should always be chasing something. I should always no, the present isn't good enough, so let's make the present better by imagining something better in the future. But the problem is, no matter how good the present is, I can always imagine something better in the future. I can always imagine a better future than what I'm doing now, no matter how great the present is now. And once I began to let go of that, it took time. It's taken years, still on the journey. But as I began to let go of the future and instead going, is there anything I can do about it? No. Okay, well, then I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just come get here and the now. I have begun to notice the beauty and the joy of the life of the here and the now. And this has helped me to not need to emotionally eat as much because I'm not getting so stressed all of the time. I'm not worrying as much about what's coming because I can tell myself, I'll deal with it when it gets here. Now, for that to work, I have to have faith in myself that I'll be able to handle whatever comes my way when such time that whatever is coming in the future becomes here and now. And this is a practice. When I stop thinking this way, the mind tends to revert back to that old way of always worrying about what's coming or always getting stuck in the past and leaving me absent of the present moment from what's happening. So, there's your philosophy. Live in the here and the now. Stop worrying so much about things that aren't here unless there's something you can do about it. And if there's something you can do about it, don't worry about it. Do something about it. That's really the key, is to go and do something about it. I would love to help you on your weight loss journey. And the best way to do that is for you to go take the Kickstart program, my free weight loss program. Again, you can find that at becomingthin.com. If you want to join my paid program and join me for my emotional eating work that I'm doing this month and next month, you can join us by going to imnotquitting.com. That's imnotquitting.com. Come join us and we'll help you not quit. We'll help you actually make it to the end of the weight loss journey. Look, you can do this. This is going to be a long, long quest, right? It's going to take as long as it takes. That's fine. That's fine. The biggest thing is you just keep going. No matter how many times you fall down, you get back up. No matter how many times you fall down, you get back up. And you live in the day you're in. You let yesterday be yesterday, and let today be today, and let tomorrow be tomorrow. Be here, be now. Live your life today. Because that's all you really have, by the way. Tomorrow doesn't exist until tomorrow becomes now. And if you can't become good at living now, then you're never going to be good at it. Have a great week, champion. Talk to you next week on the Becoming Thin podcast.